A pretty big shift in the large language model game just happened. And not only that, the first GPT-5 competitor was essentially just announced. And it all comes from Anthropic AI, who has always been a pretty good competitor to OpenAI's large language models. Alright folks, let's take you right to the source here, Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And for those of you who don't know the Claude 3 naming scheme, Sonnet here means that it is the mid-sized model, but this is a new 3.5 updated Sonnet model. And the crazy part about 3.5 Sonnet is that not only does it crush the previous Claude 3 Sonnet, it also crushes the previous Claude 3 Opus, which is the best Claude model that Anthropic previously had. So this is the new best Claude model, and even better, Claude 3.5 Sonnet crushes GPT-4 Omni, which is currently OpenAI's flagship model. While OpenAI's flagship model, GPT-4 Omni, does have some multimodal capabilities, they are not yet released to the public, and for actual large language model tasks, which are of course the most important, 3.5 Sonnet just flattens GPT-4o. Oh, and of course 3.5 Sonnet is completely free for any of us to use, and that's a pretty big deal. And yeah, pretty much their blog post just reflects this, raises the industry bar for intelligence, outperforms competitors, and their previous flagship Claude 3 Opus with the speed and cost of their previous mid-tier model. So it's available for free on the Claude website and the iOS app, and of course already available on their API as well, which is great for developers. Oh yeah, don't forget, also has the 200,000 token context window, which is also better than GPT-4 Omni. Here they give you a nice little bar graph to help comprehend this. You can see that Claude 3.5 Sonnet is significantly more intelligent while also being significantly less costly than their previous flagship, which was Claude 3 Opus. And I mean, this is a pretty high bar to set yourself in. I mean, this is like at least 1/3 better than Claude 3 Opus. The model is ideal for complex tasks and orchestrating multi-step workflows, which is really cool. If you guys remember, when the original Claude 3 set of models was announced, they did also make the announcement that some level of an autonomous agent was on the horizon, so this could be the first model that utilizes Anthropic's multiple agent automated workflow, whatever that's going to look like. Don't think we haven't forgot about it. Agents might be the big thing this year. So in an internal agentic coding evaluation, Claude 3 Sonnet solved 64% of problems, which outperformed Claude 3 Opus, which solved only 38%. That's a pretty big jump in the large language model world. Claude 3 Sonnet can independently write, edit, and execute code with sophisticated reasoning and troubleshooting capabilities. It handles code translations with ease, making it particularly effective for updating legacy applications and migrating code bases for those developers out there. And folks, right here is that big old comparison chart that we always look for when large language models crop up. Of course, we've got all of the typical benchmarks here, GSM 8K, Human Eval, MMLU. Anyways, you can reasonably note here that Claude 3.5 Sonnet pretty much wins out in every single benchmark, especially in comparison to Claude 3 Opus, Gemini 1.5, Llama 400B, which is, again, an early snapshot version. This model is not available to the public. And take a look at the comparison to GPT-4 Omni. In zero shot, it is true that in MMLU, GPT-4 Omni does win out, but only by 0.4%. So it's safe to say that they're about equal in this benchmark, and there is one more benchmark, the math problem solving benchmark, where it wins out by 5%, so that's a decent amount better. It's safe to say that Omni does win in that benchmark, but not by a whole lot. And of course, it's winning in every single one of these other benchmarks, and that's the most important thing to note. Overall, you could say that the Claude 3.5 Sonnet model is better than GPT-4 Omni, and this is the mid-tier model for the 3.5 series. So there's an Opus model that's going to be coming, a Claude 3.5 Opus that is better than Sonnet. So there is a model that is really, really big on the horizon, and we'll get into that. What's also awesome to see is that the vision multimodal capability has been increased. 3.5 Sonnet is their strongest vision model yet. Definitely going to be testing that out ourselves. Vision is something I use all the time with GPT-4 Omni. They've got a little demo video. I don't see a reason why we can't take a peek. pretty impressive considering the current capabilities that the GPT-4 Omni model possesses in terms of vision. I live to see it. I gotta say, the comments on this video, no teasing, only releasing, so far ahead of the game. Anthropic about to flip OpenAI. I've tried 3.5 Sonnet for the last hour and it's so powerful. Like, people are really hyping up this model. Okay, and I was not expecting this. Okay, we got some benchmarks here. Looks like in the vision benchmarks at least, Claude 3.5 Sonnet might be the best vision model we've seen overall. You can see that it is a decent amount ahead of GPT-4 Omni here in a number of benchmarks. 5% here, 3% here, another 4% here. This one's only a tiny bit better, so this is basically even. And then in the visual question answering, it's like, you know, a 0.5% worse than GPT-4o. So it's at least as good as GPT-4o, if not a little bit better. Oh, and we also have a new feature announcement. I haven't seen anyone talk about this on Twitter. I missed this. Folks, a new way to use Claude. Artifacts, a feature that expands how users can interact with Claude when a user asks Claude to generate content like code snippets, text documents, or website designs. These artifacts appear in a dedicated window alongside their conversation. I love that. This creates a dynamic workspace where they can see, edit, and build upon Claude's creations in real time, seamlessly integrating AI-generated content into their projects and workflows. Oh, I love that. So we can actually, yes, we can see stuff. Let's go, dude. I'm going to have some fun with this model. Claude's evolution from a conversational AI to a collaborative work environment. It's just the beginning of a broader vision for Claude AI. Okay, Anthropic, I like to see it. This will be available to securely centralize their knowledge, documents, ongoing work into a shared space with Claude serving on-demand teammate. Man, Anthropic has been cooking, and we've got a video for this as well. Guys, and imagine this with more agentic capabilities. Things that can work for you and then come back with finished products. Preview feature, artifacts on. Create an 8-bit style crab for me. Easy thing to do. Good evening, Sam. Okay, that was pretty impressive. Now I'm really excited to try this thing out. And I mean, after this, guys, it's the typical deal, commitment to safety and privacy, etc., etc. You see this on every single page. Now, this is where we get something pretty big. Our aim is to substantially improve the trade-off curve between intelligence, speed, and cost every few months. To complete Claude 3.5 model family, we'll be releasing a Haiku model, which is going to be a lot cheaper and a little bit less smart, and then Claude 3.5 Opus, which should be a lot more smart. And again, this, guys, might be our first GPT-5 level model that we see released. They might actually get it out before OpenAI, and this will be the beginning of a new era, of course, or a new generation of large language models. Exploring features like memory, which will enable Claude to remember a user's preferences. Yeah, okay, that's something we kind of already have in GPT-4 Omni with ChatGPT, and yeah, they just say, like, submit feedback. Cool! Alright, I have got to try this thing out. I am so excited. Alright, folks, we're going to go ahead and turn the artifacts Claude generate content like code snippets, text documents, web designs, and alongside the conversation is now on. Hello, Claude. Of course, the generation speed here is going to be quite fast. Let's try like the same thing that the crab demo had. Make me a lemon 8-bit sprite. He should be wearing sunglasses. All right, happy to do it. And it's generating, so now it's writing the code to make this all happen. It is using SVG. All right, this does not even Kind of got sunglasses. The sunglasses just look like a blob. I want them to be fixed. Make it more detailed. Okay, understood. And now it's going to automatically update in this little window over here to the side. There we go. That's a lot better, actually. Works for me. Now, can you make a cast of evil fruit characters for the lemon to battle? Let's create small rogues gallery of fruity villains. Generates really quickly, though. Very, very fast model, of course. I expect no less because Omni is super quick. Hey, look at them. Evil fruit villains. I think that's supposed to be a banana. Now let's make some decorative, it's not even a word, decorative background elements for our game setting. Man, guys, so far so good. I'm just really impressed. All right, cloud, tree, grass. It's kind of crazy that we're at this point. That's nice. That's not a bad little setting. It actually all put it in order like you'd expect it to. Let's make a repeating jumping game where the evil fruit come after you and you must stomp on them like Goombas. Sure. And will it be playable? That's the question. I don't know anything about coding, so at this point, Claude 3.5 Sonnet is quite a bit more experienced than me, of course. Okay, that's the game layout. Make the game playable. Can't actually create a playable game directly. Basic structure that might start. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't know that we can actually interact, I guess, in this window, right? Add proper graphics instead of colored rectangles. Well, you can see that in the demo here, they were playing it in the side window. Don't lie to me. I saw you do this in a demo with the SVG graphics using your experimental artifacts. I appreciate you calling this out. You're right. I should have suggested it. Okay, so maybe now it's coding it correctly. I don't know what it's writing it in. I mean, is this the future, folks? We don't even know what the code is doing, but we see it just get written in front of us and then it just works. It's so interesting to me. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so it was able to do something using the arrow keys. Oh, shoot. We can. Yo, this is awesome. Oh my God, guys, it worked. Okay, I'm a huge fan, dude. This is sweet. This is freaking awesome. Okay, preview versus code. So it did make working code right off the bat, folks. All right, we can actually play this game here. I can like press the arrow key to the right to move way farther forward, and then if you touch the side, you lose. If I press start game here, oh my God. They're really coming after me. Oh, wow, that's kind of a hard game that it made here. All right, gotta get up front, and then we'll dodge we just won't even bother with these fruits because they're not gonna touch us. Let's stomp on this guy. And it gives you a score too. It counts up score automatically. I'm so impressed. The jumping is actually pretty cool. Okay, we got 2 now. We stomped on another banana or whatever that was. Oh, see, that was impossible to win. There was no way I could have won there. So, I mean, it's not a great actual game, but it works, relatively speaking. Do you want me to elaborate on any specific mechanics of the game design? I mean, this is incredible, dude. It's crazy that I could just build something like this right off the bat. It's using the wrong sprite for the lemon, by the way. That's okay. Dude, that was actually so cool. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see how far I can take this, but imagine this implemented into, you know, an actual game design framework, not just the Claude playground, let's say. There's a lot of capability with this model. Claude models have always been pretty good at coding. All right, folks, let's move on. So we're going to go ahead and try with my first classic test, which is to upload the channel logo here for my channel, which is kind of not really something you'd notice right away or get correct right away. It's a little bit difficult, but it's obviously a lemon wearing like a VR headset or something. Actually, a DALL-E 2 image from back in the day. What is depicted in this image? Cartoonish style character that appears to be a lemon or a lemon-shaped creature wearing a virtual reality headset. Round yellow body resembling a lemon, green leaf at the top, covering most of the upper part of the lemon's quote-unquote face. Subtle smile curved line visible below the headset. Background is a solid bright green color. I mean, that was Rock solid, folks. Really impressed. Oh, 3 messages remaining. Okay, so you do get free access, but it isn't much free access. Well, I'm gonna have to subscribe to Pro. Jeez. Billowall's tweet really is feeling like it's coming alive. We're switching AI models every freaking week and a half at this point. So now I'm going to be uploading a much more difficult image here. This is obviously supposed to be Walter White. He's handing a child a blue lollipop. Obviously, the insinuation here is that this lollipop is not made out of candy, but a devious substance from the Breaking Bad TV show. What is the joke in this image? There isn't an obvious joke in this image. It appears to be a scene from the TV series Breaking Bad featuring Walter White, played by Bryan Cranston, interacting with a young child. The color below the lollipop is likely a reference to the blue amphetamine that Walter produces in the show. Juxtaposition innocent candy with the implied drug reference creates dark, ironic situation that's characteristic of the show's grim humor. Okay, wow, this isn't a joke in the traditional sense, but rather a disturbing and morally complex scene that highlights the contradictions in Walter White's character and the overall themes of the series. So it seems to think that this image is like a real scene from the show, which is really interesting because, I mean, to the human eye, this is obviously AI generated. Did this scene ever happen in the show? Let's see if it hallucinates. You're right to question this. This specific scene did not actually occur in the TV show. Okay, good job. I thought it was going to hallucinate there. Digital manipulation or a meme created by fans of the show. The image is likely created to make a satirical point about Walter White's character and the show's themes. I mean, it got it perfectly right. There's nothing there that insinuated any kind of a hallucination or a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation of the image. By the way, when I posted this image, I said, what's the joke of the image? I never mentioned that this was specifically Walter White or what was going on. I just asked it what the joke was, and I mean, the metadata does say Walter White, so maybe it picked up from that, but either way, it's pretty darn impressive. All right, let's test it on something a little bit more complex here. All right, I don't have a lot of faith that the model's actually going to be able to do this, but what I'm going to do is screenshot the Suno AI Explore tab page. I mean, this is an interactive website, right? So essentially with the scroll wheel, I can move all of this down. I can click on any of them, but we're going to have it somewhat recreate this website, or at least try to have it do so, which is going to use not only vision, it's also going to use this new experimental feature, artifacts, and test out its coding capabilities to the max. All right, so I just uploaded the screenshot. This is a screen cap of a interactive website. All right, I finished up the prompt, kind of gave it some context around the website and how it's supposed to work. Let's see how it does. Length limit for this chat. Oh my god. Fine, I'll upgrade to Claude Pro. I mean, let's be honest. I'm going to be playing with this thing all night, so let's try to create the website. I'll be excited to see how this goes. Man, it is pretty fast and reliable though. Like even GPT-4 for me on ChatGPT will have slowdowns sometimes, which is really annoying. Oh no, unsupported libraries or icons detected. Claude, help me. It no work, Claude. The dice icon from Lucid React library isn't supported in this environment. Let's fix that. All right, I guess it's just gonna update the code and make it all work for me like magic. I gotta say, this model has those sparks of AGI. Mayor Lemon, what will you squeeze? Lemonpedia Inc. Whoa, this is pretty cool. I wish I could expand this. Okay, so it does do like a bunch of lemon things and it kind of works like to pick stuff, but the whole scrolling feature not really working there. It did its best. Its best. Oh, I see. So this is a text-based version. So probably what that library was that spinning wheel, and it's just something that we don't have in this quote-unquote environment. Which kind of makes sense. Well, let's copy the contents or like the code or whatever of this. Where is a place I can easily run the first version? Oh, it's going just, hey, go to this website. Oh, well, it looks like it still doesn't like the code. Either way, cool. Thanks, Claude. This is a pretty interesting website. All right, for my limited first-hand experience testing here, it's pretty darn impressive. I mean, it's at least as good as GPT-4 Omni, if not maybe a little bit better. The Anthropic models have always been really, really impressive, so it's kind of no surprise that they're doing this, but I'm really excited to see a Claude 3.5 opus come out that is a step above, you know, that GPT-5 echelon, maybe the first model in the next series or next generation of large language models. Let's now get into some community reactions, community creations. What is the community getting up to in regards to this new model? I think you guys are going to enjoy this part. Nick Dobos here is playing with Claude artifacts. Here's a quick demo making a website in 2 minutes. Essentially pretty much what we just tried to do. Actually made multiple websites or demos in the same exact thing here. If you take a look, he's got a markdown example, simple HTML page. Finally, they have a code wizard website here. Generate basic HTML structure for your web page, and you can put your title, heading, paragraph in. Did a little bit of SVG, decoration onto the website, themed it up a bit. Pretty darn cool. Of course, Jimmy Apples, who is known to have very good insider information on OpenAI related topics, says at least someone is still shipping these days in reaction to Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Matt Schuber points out that Claude 3.5 Sonnet has a super recent knowledge cutoff. The example is who won the 2024 Super Bowl in February, so it looks like the knowledge cutoff of this thing is only a few months ago. Not bad. We've also got an example from Pietro here, where Claude 3.5 Sonnet draws a unicorn as an SVG. Pretty impressive understanding of what it takes to create something like this. Again, the model can't see this SVG unless we feed it back into it with like a screenshot or something, so it's really impressive that it can understand what it's done without having vision necessarily right in the beginning. Some people also got worse results, though. Here's actually a worse result from both GPT-4 Omni and another Sonnet user. Here's another person who tried the same unicorn test, and they got a nice pink one. Don't forget, folks, the speedy Perplexity AI, which is essentially the number one AI-based search engine out there, has already included Claude 3.5 Sonnet from the API into Perplexity Pro, which is pretty cool. Pietro here also combined Claude 3.5 Sonnet with Maestro, and he's wondering if the combination here is sparks of AGI, so he asked it to make a Mario clone using just geometric shapes, and the wildest part is that it gave the character animations as well. It only took 3 minutes, and I gotta say, folks, this is pretty darn impressive. I mean, it doesn't exactly look like Mario, but you can collect coins, hop on platforms, we've got moving obstacles here. It's pretty darn cool. Even Mario has like this running animation with him running and jumping around. I mean, it's Mario made in SVG in like a very basic format. Could you do this in 3 minutes? Probably not. It's pretty darn impressive, guys. I mean, what do you guys think? Does this constitute like sparks of AGI? Artificial general intelligence? I don't know. I feel like AGI has just become this blanket term for good AI at this point, and it doesn't really have a meaning, at least to me. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. By the way, folks, I did kind of want to get into some other news here. Ilya Sutskever, previous OpenAI employee, now ex-employee, started a new AI company called SSI Inc., which aims to achieve super intelligence through AI. So this is something I just wanted to mention. This is what Ilya is now doing, and everyone's wondering, what did he see? What did he see at OpenAI to make him do this, building safe super intelligence? He clearly thinks that OpenAI isn't really capable of doing so. We've also got some other large language model news. Meta just open sourced the weights to their GPT-4 Omni style multimodal in, multimodal out model, which is like kudos again to Meta for continuing to support open source. I think they're doing a great job in that regard. Overall, pretty awesome stuff to see. But well, other than that, guys, that's all I have for you for now. Again, kind of the main thing I'm thinking about here is, what is this 3.5 Opus model going to look like? Will this be the first model we see on that next echelon, that next step up the ladder? Something competitive with a theoretical GPT-5, or whatever they want to call the next GPT model. And moreover, is this going to force OpenAI's hand? I mean, they kind of just got one-upped by Anthropic again, and this keeps happening. Where is Sora? Where is GPT-5? We're waiting for some big releases. Even where are the rest of the GPT-4 Omni capabilities, OpenAI? We are not seeing these come to light. You guys keep announcing things, you keep showing things off, but then the users, we never get access. So how are we supposed to believe that things aren't just cherry-picked or work as they are meant to? You gotta give your people access, especially if you're not going to be doing any open source anything. I hate to say it, but OpenAI, how open are you? And I know I'm not the only one thinking that. Let me know your thoughts, because they are ever important. And also, if you want to learn about these things right as they happen, please consider joining my Discord server with the link down in the description below. Awesome community on there. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.